Hello out there, everybody. Welcome back to ATCB. We're doing role-playing. Oh my god, it's been so long. I think it's been about just over a year.
I had hair in the last episode, so about a year, yeah.
Yeah, but we have done roleplay since then.
Oh, that's true.
We did Zombie Apocalypse. Go watch that.
I think I still have hair.
Possibly, yes.
What terrible thing has befallen you since you've lost all your hair since these events?
It doesn't matter, Sam's caught up.
The horror of a haircut. And hopefully I don't get too much muffled by the fact that the cat is doing revolutions of the microphone, which sounds like an awful condition. Yeah, the first roleplay on the channel for quite some time, and we're hopping back into Advanced Fighting Fantasy. Hooray!
Yay!
Really bog standard fantasy role in a nice way, in a very nice way.
I remember none of this.
We'll put links down below in the video description to the first kind of mini series of this, which we are. This is a sequel. It is a sequel. We're playing the same characters. It's kind of the same continuing adventures of these characters. So feel free, if you haven't watched/listened to those, to pop down below and take a look. Shall we introduce our characters one at a time, and then we'll talk a little bit about what happened last time, and then we'll crack on. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's Sam, Jojo.
Hello. I am playing. I remember nothing about this guy at all, apart from he liked to levitate and he was a wizard. Baroness Rangor. And he was a wizard. And he liked to levitate.
And he liked to try and get through magical barriers repeatedly in the same way.
Yeah. It might have worked. And he also has a griffin feather. I clearly remember the whole griffin incident when I was completely 100% persuaded that the griffin needed to tell me a secret before it could die. And it died. It never did.
No, because it was a griffin.
What?
And I also have a dead toad, which is fresh. I don't know what that's for.
Right.
You just start with that.
I just start with
It's just random.
a fresh dead toad.
Fresh dead toad.
Good, thank
Still
you.
fresh
and
Good job I got that fresh toad.
Yeah, that'll come in handy. And then we have a John.
Hello! I'm playing Jarek Stormguard. I'm a human. I'm a mercenary. The only significant thing I can remember about this character is I have the words ruthless bastard in all caps at the bottom of my character sheet.
Yes. I think you're the only one to have made up more backstory on your little character sheet than because everyone else has just copied them out.
Mm-hmm.
But you put something about murdering your friend when
No,
you were
that's in the
15
book.
years old. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Is
do
it?
all have a bit of
Yeah.
story in the book.
Oh,
We just
okay.
didn't run down.
Spoilers.
Oh, fine. Fine.
That's my secret, Matt.
That's your
my
secret.
angst.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just
That's gonna
told
happen.
everyone.
That's gonna happen in this adventure. It's not all gonna be stupid orc accents and stuff. And then we have Justin.
Yeah, Justin playing Gordo Brondwyn, a human thief. Now, all I remember about this character is I used to go, aha! Quite a lot. So that's going to keep going.
That's not the character.
I'm pretty sure that's the entire character. And I rode on the back of a giant lizard.
You did do that.
You know, that's basically...
You spent quite a bit of time trying to come up with a way of getting the giant lizard. For some time, I believe you actually considered just leaving with the giant
riding
lizard.
off on the lizard rather than following the
did.
party, yeah.
Now, Justin, you remembered this character so well that at the beginning of... When you walked in today, you said something along the lines to me of, I can't actually remember what character I played.
Probably.
So, is that because Gordo Bronwyn is such a good thief that he's even snuck out of your brain? Unseen, unheard.
I think that must be the case.
I think it's because Justin's just a bit shit.
Thanks, Sam.
Oh, God.
I think this is bleed
Shots
over.
fired.
This is bleed over for my Hillfolk campaign.
Our rivalry will never end.
Anyway, no, I think I always remember Gordo being exceptional in every way, much like myself.
Yes.
Much like.
And then, not seen on the channel for a while, we welcome back Mr. Jake.
Oh,
Mr.
back he is, back from the deep mines of the north.
I thought you were dead.
So did I. I've got. I'm playing Grimbold Tonehelm, and the only thing I can remember about him, apparently, he's got a pair of bloody pantaloons.
Is that?
Yes.
What? I don't know how he acquired those, or if I'll ever get rid of them. But
I believe he carved them off a prince.
that sounds about right.
Yes.
Jesus.
Okay, so being as this is all fresh in your memories. Let's
Just a
do
week ago we played the last game.
a quick recap of the previous adventure. You were all hired by King Pindar of Chalice and his son, Prince Berinjahar,
Dickhead.
to go, dickhead indeed, to go rescue the Princess Sarissa, the daughter of King Salomon, from Zortan Throg, sorcerer of dubious reputation. You snuck into his tower, fought a load of goblins, navigated your way past a magical...
Killed a griffin. Cold blood.
Navigated your way through some magical traps, a big fireball illusion, and some big metal hands with swords. Had an encounter with a giant lizard, another fight with some orcs and a troll, and finally confronted Throg in his whatever you call it, throne? Not really a throne.
It was more like a boudoir.
He described it as a throne, I think.
I think he was certainly on a throne. There was a throne in the room.
Does that make
but does that make it a throne? Write in. Listeners,
what is the definition of a throne room?
Comments. Comment whether you think it was a throne room. Hit like if you did think it was a throne room. Hit dislike if you didn't think it was a throne room.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
It was definitely a throne
It was definitely a throne room. Regardless, you had a conflict with him in which a magical barrier went up and the dwarf Grimbold was engaged in a duel with Prince Berinjahar, who turned out to be the cad behind this all along.
My God.
During which he kind of carved you to pieces, but in the end...
But I got his pantaloons.
You did get his pantaloons after a sleep spell was cast on him by Baradas Rangel.
Oh yeah, it took me a while. Didn't
it? It did take you a while. Speaking of things taking a while, it also took a while to figure out that the braziers were where Zortan Throg was getting his power from.
Yep.
Until in the end you knocked one over, made him go a bit mad, and then Princess Sarissa crept out of the back room and smashed him over the head with a vase.
Oh yeah, that was good.
At which point you realised that Zortan Throg wasn't Zortan Throg after all, but merely a simulacrum. And his weird, illusory, floating head in the fireplace taunted you and then vanished. And that was kind of where it ended.
Oh yeah, I remember
I
that.
didn't like that bit.
No?
Because we lost.
You don't like being taunted
We
by
can
a
win
floating
now,
fireplace head?
We
It
can
happens
go
all
win
the
now.
time.
It does happen a lot where we're from.
Should we point out that there was another character as well? Who was
There was another character who is... there was Shabadoo, who other regular video game viewers may know as Sam G. And he was playing Aspen Darkfire, an elven warrior princess. She's in and out. She's so unreliable. She's
Flaky.
just all flaky. Just disappears, reappears. Elves mysteriously.
What are you like?
And today, and for the entirety of the series, she will not be present. Sam now lives in Spain.
The elven homeland.
The elven homeland of Spain. So, yes, is that? I think that's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
we rescued those two dudes as well, didn't we?
Oh, the prisoners, yeah, who were all like, thank you, sir. And
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that
sure
was the
Sam
highlight.
actually killed them.
It specifically says in the book they tug their forelocks.
Well.
Well. Okay, so are we ready for the second story?
Tell us more.
It's called Revenge of the Sorcerer.
Dickhead.
I wonder what's going to happen in this story.
Some kind of sorcerer, I'll be bound. Okay, the adventure opens in a splendid hall in the royal palace at Salamonis. As befits the court of the most powerful king in this part of Alanzia, it is decked out with beautiful and expensive hangings from all corners of Titan. There are no chairs except those for King Salomon and his family. Everyone else must stand. As almost everyone should know, Salamonis is a very prosperous city-state of great antiquity, situated on the banks of the Whitewater River in the Vale of Willow. It is ruled over by the learned King Salomon the 57th, father to Princess Sarissa. You have recently arrived in the city, fresh from your rescue of the princess from Zortan Throg's tower. News of your exploits has spread like wildfire. The court is full to overflowing with knights, noblemen and clergy, all eager to hear the tale. These folk are all dressed in their best finery, making you, tired from the trail but doing your best to stand up straight in the presence of your betters, look poor, bedraggled and insignificant.
True that.
As we join the scene, Princess Sarissa herself has taken charge again and has already told most of the story, including her kidnap by Zortan Throg, the treachery of Prince Berinjahar, and her heroic rescue. You yourselves will have been permitted to say a few words about how you fought your way through the wizard's castle, though you will have been quickly interrupted if you try to glorify your role or were in any way overdramatic in its telling. This city is an ancient seat of learning, and pompous boasting is looked down upon. Finally, the princess tells how everyone discovered that Zortan Throg was not dead after all, and how he swore vengeance on the heroes, that's you, I should have said you, and on the city of Salamonis. Of this alarming news, a frightened hush falls over the assembled courtiers, and all eyes turn to look at the king, sitting upon his throne at the top end of the immense chamber, in order to hear what he has to say on this grave and worrying matter. Okay, there's going to be a little bit of audience participation. You're not audience, you're players. Player participation in this scene. Essentially, every time I put my hand up, you, as the assembled courtiers, will gasp in shock and horror.
What?
Yes. As for who else is there, there's King Salomon, Princess Sarissa, and Prince Salomon, who is a somewhat arrogant-looking dandy, sitting in a smaller chair near the king's feet.
Love it.
Yes,
They really like that name.
they do. Having heard Princess Sarissa tell of Zortan Throg's survival and threats of revenge, King Salomon rises to his feet. The court falls silent in anticipation of yet more golden words from their sovereign. My beloved son and daughter, my lords, ladies, bishops, and knights of Salamonis, heroic adventurers, this is truly a most splendid tale we have heard, full of perfidious villainy and epic heroism. Slight edit to what I say. If this hand goes up, I want gasps, okay? If this hand,
Too much coordination.
if this hand goes up, I want murmurs of approval. Okay?
Right.
Murmurs of approval, gasps of horror, okay?
Got it.
We need to paint the picture for the people at home. Okay. It is so full of excitement as to be worthy of the stage of our city's own theatrical arena. If it were just a story, we could rejoice that good has triumphed in the end. You're a dick, Justin. But alas, it is no mere tale to frighten us during a few hours of light entertainment. The villainy we have heard described is all too real, and threatens us still.
Bloody hell!
We must be on our guard until the evil of Zortan Throg is banished forever from the land of Alancia. In the case of the people of Chalice, and of King Pindar in particular, I feel that it would be impossible to prove any evil intent on their part, were anyone compelled to attempt so to do. Besides which, as my daughter relates, the wickedness was Prince Berinjahar's alone, since he is now dead, and given that the loss of their king's only son is a sore burden for any city to bear, I resolve to bear no further grudge against King Pindar or the people of Chalice.
Hey, too late.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Fair enough.
That's a good point, yeah. However, there is the important matter of the reward promised to these gallant adventurers. They have rescued my daughter as they agreed to do, and clearly they should receive just payment.
Can I have a chair?
They'd be too big for you. As it is unlikely that they will be welcome in poor Chalice in the near future, however, and as a sign of immense gratitude for the safe return of my beloved daughter, I will pay the reward myself.
That's really nice.
It's good.
At this point, the king pauses so that this generosity can be noted, and then adds, to general laughter from the courtiers, and send the bill to King Pindar in due course. Chancellor, you will arrange for each of these fine adventurers to be paid 500 gold pieces before they leave the city, which you can note on your character sheets.
Yay.
I must now turn to the grave matter of the sorcerer, Zortan Throg.
What the
Sorry,
Just
not
go,
to-
yay! Fucking dwarves.
I and my learned advisors are totally mystified as to the nature of the grudge this creature bears against our fair city, for it is the first we have heard of the fellow. Of the threat he poses, however, there is no doubt.
Aye.
Oh my god.
You're not supposed to laugh at this threat.
Fortunately, we have in our midst some of the bravest and most able heroes in all Alancia, for whom killing a wizard is a welcome relaxation after the hard work of dragon slaying. At this point, many of the knights at court begin shuffling their feet and trying to look inconspicuous. I refer, of course, To the brave heroes who so recently rescued my daughter from that self-same wizard, who better to turn to in order to aid us in our hour of need? Should they succeed in this quest, I will match King Pindar's reward with money from our own coffers. At this point, Prince Salomon leaps dramatically to his feet. Father, you don't seriously intend to waste yet more money on these boorish oafs? Why, all they did was kill a few goblins and a magical simulacrum, and that only with my sister's help. My boy, replies the king, one day you will learn, a willing servant is always better than an unwilling one. These brave people are already the sworn enemies of Zortan Throg, and will doubtless set off to confront and kill him no matter what we do. Since they are doing us a favour as well, it is only right that we reward them. If the worst happens and they fail, they will have no need of gold. And of course, if any of the bold knights of my court can bring me the head of Zortan Throg before these fellows do, then I shall have no hesitation in giving the reward to them instead. The king pauses, and a heavy silence falls upon the court. I thought not, he continues with a stern look on his face. Now, as I said earlier, we have no idea who this wizard is or where he may be found. However, there is one man in the Lancia whose knowledge seems almost unbounded, especially on magical subjects. I refer, of course, to my childhood tutor, the great sage Nicodemus. It is therefore my suggestion, and I think you will find I possess a talent for prejudging matters such as these, that you seek his aid in tracking down your elusive quarry. For reasons best known to himself, and surely none here are wise enough to fathom their subtle intricacies, Nicodemus has made his home in that odious hotbed of villainy called Port Blacksand.
Good point.
Shut Sam.
It is well known that the wicked Lord Azure places strict controls on all who enter his foul city, and being no lover of Salamonis, he may well seek to foil your mission. In view of this, and knowing also that you will unhesitatingly accept this prestigious mission on my behalf, I provided suitable disguises and paperwork to carry to get you safely within the town gates. However, from that point on, I fear you will be on your own. Are there any questions?
Rather presumptive.
It's rocking me well prepared for this unexpected event.
Any questions?
Can I have a chair yet or what? I like to sit down, my legs are starting to ache a bit.
Yes. Please, find this dwarven gentleman a seat.
Oh, much obliged, Your Majesty.
Do we have to go tonight? Can we,
Do we have to go in the next month
have
or
a
so? Or?
Can we visit the property?
Can we have
like, is it just
Can I
like
go to bed?
Like,
I'm tired. I'd rather have a night's kip,
It's it's not entirely urgent that you set off tonight. No, I think provisions can be made for you overnight to get a good night's sleep before your travel west to Blacksand. You can have full access to the great library and all of the public areas of the palace.
And the brothel.
There is no brothel in the palace.
but it's
Palace
very,
brothel.
very unusual.
Not one that the king will share.
Well, quite. Look, if we could stop our slow slide into the world of cliche role players.
I don't think this was slow. I think this was immediate.
Yeah, right, I'm going to hit the library.
Thank you.
When we get to Port Blacksand, how do we find Nicodemus?
Oh, I am absolutely sure that a sage of his repute, you'll be able to ask in many different places for him. Regardless, I will have one of my men give you information on one of our contacts in the city.
You said he wouldn't necessarily want to help us. Does that mean he's going to be outright hostile, or the king, that is, of the city?
Lord Azure.
That guy, yes.
Well, he's no friend to Salamonis, but I see no reason why he would be specifically hunting for you. He would have no idea you are coming. But all the best.
Won't you start to notice
avoid him
when we start asking around about this great sage of yours?
Well,
If he's that great, I mean...
that's why I'm paying you danger money.
You know,
he is paying us danger money.
we could also
I
do
do
with
like
a
danger money.
couple of knighthoods as well, maybe, if we pull this off, eh? Only fair, right, Your Majesty?
We'll see.
How many knighthoods does one dwarf need?
Oh, I quite like the whole chivalry business.
Chivalry.
Grimbold, not entirely sure what knighthood is, but suspect it involves drink.
It involves drinking, it means you get to wear, like, tall shoes.
That's all this is about.
Just a dwarf on stilts.
I was thinking this whole hall was filled and we couldn't be seen very easily. The solution to that would be levitate.
Yes. So, Ed, are there any other questions before court is adjourned?
So who's going to marry your daughter now?
The writers of this adventure anticipated this question. Are you asking that
That's
question?
what I ask.
Well, no arrangements are currently outstanding, obviously, what with the capture of Prince Berinjar.
Yep. So, open for takers?
I have already given you my terms for this quest. I suggest you set about your preparations before I change my mind.
I'm gonna kick him in the shin.
Why?
Shut up.
You roguish princess wooer.
I didn't say me. I was asking for a friend.
Hey, be a bit more subtle next time, though, eh?
I don't think we have.
I'll take the
any
silence as
questions.
a lack
I think
of
we're good,
further
yeah.
questions.
Yeah. Can we rearm and get the pick of the armory before we set off?
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent.
Nothing but the finest weapons for this quest. Although, having said that, it will just be your default equipment.
I'll just write shiny in front of it. Then.
Yes, that's fine.
Shiny sword. Shiny spellbook. Shiny dead toad.
Only the shiniest of dead toads will be available. Okay. How are you? So you've got some very, very lush, opulent accommodations overnight. Very nice. You've got a bed each.
What?
Yeah. Access to the bathhouse. Some of you know what that is. Not so much the dwarf.
Is that where you can drink like the water?
The water's actually good to drink, yeah.
Yeah. So what's everyone planning to do in this evening of luxury?
I guess I probably go to the library because, wizard. Yay.
Sam loves playing the wizard.
Yay!
You're just gonna levitate around and throw your dead toad at people.
Just like over above people.
I'm going to use my loaded dice to try and scam some aristocrats out of their hard-earned money from
500
the
gold.
plebs that they earn it hard off. You know, they're
You're just
not
being
the
Robin
the
Hood
1%. You know, the 1%.
Being Robin Hood.
Have you got what's your relevant
Loaded
skill?
dice is what I've got,
Skills.
and the relevant skill is con.
Con. Okay, give me a con check.
Although I don't know if con is like constitution or if it's actually conning
No,
people.
it's con.
That's good.
It is con. What is your con score?
12. So I'm going to get below or equal to 12.
Yes.
Oh,
But a double 6 would be an automatic fail.
a
But
5.
okay, you managed to con another 50 gold out of nobles throughout the night before they get wise and stop gambling with you.
Noble adventurer. We're the good guys.
Grimbold, what are you doing?
Can I regale members of the court with my underground lore and also my bloody pantaloons that I stripped off the prince?
You find a very small subsection of the court who are willing to sit politely and listen to your tales.
And they sat like around me though, like with the legs crossed and that kind of thing. So I'll insist they do that before I come.
Smaller.
That makes it even smaller, but yes, there is 2 page boys and a minor noble who you think may have suffered severe head trauma at some point in the not so distant past. And they are enraptured by your tale of bloody pantaloons.
And that's when I ripped them off leg by leg, boys. Here you go. I get the strip from the
Fucking hell.
From the bloody pantaloons.
just remember your old friend Grimbold. When you
I'm
see...
clearly in prison for mass murder.
Hey, if it was a mass murder, I'd have more pants than these.
Jarek. What's Jarek doing overnight?
Jarek is going to the bathhouse and trying to impress people with his griffin's claw.
That's not a euphemism. Is it?
No.
Okay.
Hey,
No,
hey,
in
do you
this
want to see
case.
my griffin's claw?
See, I can imagine then in my head, Jarek's activity for the night was just half leaning out of the window of his palatial apartment, aiming his crossbow at people passing in the streets below, and just going click, click, click.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to make these people are paying him. He doesn't want to make them too nervous.
Yeah, he doesn't want to spook them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good, and you duly impress people with your mighty griffin's claw.
Hell yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Find anything in the library?
Books.
Cool.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of books.
It's quite a lot of books. No, there's 3.
There's no big readers in this game.
No, there are
And
thousands of
two
books.
of them are the same book.
And the other one's a picture book.
Yes. And the one book that there's 2 of that isn't a picture book you've already read. And it was shit.
And someone else has the picture book.
I read the Oh no! Can't even read the picture book.
There are thousands of books in the Library of Salamonis, and you spend the nights
trying to work out
Dropping dead
trying to work
time.
out how the reference system
Yeah, they're
works.
index.
Yeah, you spend the night pulling a Samwell.
There's no librarian in, so I have no ability to access any of this knowledge.
Just use a computer system. Okay, you wake up the next morning refreshed, ready to go. You are bundled out quite quickly of the palace. You're given some more detailed instructions, and also any weapons and armour that you require, which is basically just slightly better replacements of anything you had. You're given a wagon to get there, basically. You're given 300 gold pieces between you as a sign of good faith that Salomon trusts you. So those can be held by whoever is, I guess, the quartermaster for the group. Probably Jarek.
Probably Jarek.
Probably not the thief. The wizard would lose them. The dwarf would spend them. The thief would steal them. The mercenary is probably good with money.
And is probably going to stab anyone who tries to steal it.
Yes.
That's why he's good with money.
You're also given apparently what is a personal gift from the king, thanking you for your good behaviour at court, which is a small bottle of clear green liquid. This, you are told, has been drawn from the sacred healing well of the White Goddess in Salamonis. Drinking from the bottle will cure all wounds, apparently.
Is it one bottle or one?
One bottle each.
Ooh.
You're given disguises as merchant, which is mostly just giving you a load of more brightly coloured frumpier clothing.
Yay.
Hooray! What we wanted!
Finally, I'm looking frumpy.
And you're told that you need to go to the Dragon's Tooth Inn and meet a man called Halim Thrumbar.
Thrumbar, eh?
Thrumbar, eh? Yes.
I still owe him. From that. Never mind.
Yes.
Cool. Let's go.
We go.
Being as you're the one you're the one who's written about, and I believe it notes in it that Jarek comes from near Blacksand.
Yep.
Yes. The thief will almost certainly have been to Blacksand as well, being as it's called the City of Thieves.
Well, yeah. That's just
As
judgmental.
originally created in the Fighting Fantasy storybook, City of Thieves. Yeah.
Other books are available.
Other books are available. Okay, you set off for Port Blacksand disguised as merchants. The journey is uneventful.
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 I'm disappointed.
Unless you want to do a little bit of bantering and role playing along the way. Why not? Let's say it's about 3 weeks travel to Blacksand.
Oh God.
2 weeks on.
Fucking hell.
2 weeks on the way. You're going stir crazy. You're all in the wagon.
Stop levitating all the fucking time. Like, forget it. You can fucking fly.
He
You're-
doesn't put that fucking toad away. That is right.
I like how this is all rage against Sam.
It's what would happen.
It's what would happen.
I am basically just the wizard who happened to be there and hasn't really done much useful stuff and is just annoying and levitating around. So.
You put the prince to sleep.
Yeah, it's true. I remember my character was also 19.
Yes.
Really young. Damn.
That's why you're a rubbish wizard.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because
Just happened to be with a party who's done some useful stuff.
I'm pretty sure every wizard I've ever seen on TV who's done anything worthwhile is over 200.
Especially David Blaine.
Yes. What about
In character?
the popular?
The great mage is David Blaine from the coast.
What about the popular wizard of our times, Harry Potter? Harry Potter.
No, I haven't heard of him.
Yeah.
Sounds like a jump.
Sounds like the kind of guy who'd be willing to reprisal roll for loads of money.
So anyway, speaking of money,
You're a wizard now, Barabbas.
What are you loosen the
Barabbas.
purse strings on that cash sheet?
Hmm?
We've been out for weeks now.
He's
Huh?
called Barabbas.
We've been out here for weeks, and you've still got hold of that money. We've got to spend it on stuff by now.
On what?
On
On the
what?
road?
We're in the wilderness.
Hey,
Guys, just dwarven.
We haven't seen anyone in 5 days.
That's because we've not been flashing the cash.
You've got your own cash to flash.
Aye, true enough, but I'm trying to invest and save up and whatever else,
What does a
Uh-huh.
dwarf invest in?
Rocks.
You don't want to know, buddy. And a better education than you've got as your wizard. Tell you that much.
Axe insurance.
They still have for education where I'm from.
Trust me, that money is safe in the bank of I'll stab you if you look at it.
Alright. It's just asking the questions that need to be asked. Ensuring my fiscal security, so to speak.
Times are tight.
Right? You make them tighter to people by stealing their money.
After all, Salamonis has just voted to leave the Union of Valencia.
Anyway, so
Moving on.
I rob from the rich and keep fit. You know, like
No.
I heard that as I rob from the rich and keep fit.
Maybe that too.
I rob from the
releasing-
rich and I do my jazzercise.
I'm releasing a new Jazzercise scroll next week. How to keep fit
with Gordo Brondwin.
on one roll of parchment.
Yes. Okay.
Is that 4 weeks worth of banter?
Yeah, I think that's enough. Okay. From a distance, Port Blacksand looks much like any other coastal city. Behind high city walls, a jumbled collection of roofs and towers can be seen littering the skyline. In the bay, a collection of fine ships are riding at anchor, though the far-sighted may be disturbed to note that most of them are war galleons flying the skull and crossbones. The only strange object in sight is the occasional ruined building well outside the walls. These ruins seem to be of considerable age. As you approach the city, however, the true nature of the evil place and the reason for its reputation becomes apparent. To start with, there is the smell. In most cities, there is a certain degree of stink because of the lazy habit of throwing rubbish into the gutter in the middle of the street rather than carrying it to the sewers or the river. But in Blacksand, the stench of ordinary domestic rubbish seems almost swamped by a pungent and not at all pleasant aroma compounded of stale beer and rotting flesh. Even a dwarf would turn his nose up at this stench, and that is saying something.
Ah, it smells like shite.
Small wonder about the smell of rotting flesh, incidentally, because lining the road to the city are many repulsive examples of Lord Azur's famed and feared tyranny. Corpses hang from trees, severed heads impaled on poles line the way, and most disturbing of all, starving men crouch, suspended in small iron cages by the roadside, with dire warnings posted as to what will happen to anyone who dares to feed these convicted thieves and murderers. Approaching the gate, you are hailed by eyeless and limbless beggars ejected from the city for thieving. Desperate to get back inside and resume their trade, they plead with you for aid. Unfortunately for them, few can drag themselves far away to be out of the gaze of the tall black-armoured guards who stand at the gate. Accompanying your wagon laden down with fine cloth and other goods, you walk slowly towards the gate, merchant passes at the ready. Ahead of you are two, unusually, trolls in the Blacksand guard uniform, which is, as discussed, all black. Not particularly fancy, but fancy enough to mark them out as officials. They're leaning against a kind of shack against the gate and idly watching people approach. As you trundle your wagon in front of them, they step out in front of you, and one of them says, "Well, well, well, What have we got here, Black Boil? The other one says, I don't know, Crackjaw. Looks like some wannabe merchants to me. You got your merchant passes ready? You do have some merchant passes.
Smile and wave.
Yes, of course, good sirs. Here are our merchant passes. I think you'll find everything to be in order.
I put away my dead toad, so as not to seem weird.
not even just kind of taking your merchant pass and not even really looking at it. Crackjaw glances over you, and then his eyes linger on Grimbold. Never met a dwarf cloth merchant before, have you, Black Boil? Looks like a limp kind of creature to me. Got a nice pair of scissors instead of an axe, have you, dwarf? Poke, poke, poke.
He's our new apprentice.
You know, I'd never met a troll bureaucrat before either. You're doing a pretty piss poor impression of one, I can tell you that much.
I smack the dwarf over the head. I say, now Grimbold, how dare you? This is why we never let you out normally. Look, get back under the wagon and sort through the cloths as we tell you to do. When you have shown yourself to be a capable merchant, then you can come back out again. I'm very sorry, sirs.
Right you are.
Smack again. Now, as we were saying,
Presumably all this with the knowledge that the dwarf is definitely going to smack you in the balls later.
I'll milk it while I can.
Smack him one more time.
Black Boil kind of leans back and goes, well, I don't know if we can look over this impetuous behaviour. Maybe if you pay the special new merchant tax, 50 gold pieces per wagon, and we won't look into these obvious forgeries.
Obvious forgeries? Well, I never.
Absolute bish and bollocks. Just hear that drift from under the carriage.
How might you know they are forgeries then?
I'm sorry. We forgot to tell you. Now this is young Speck over here, who also is not allowed out in front of the wagon. Get back, smack. I didn't know I told you to get up here. Get back down with Grimwood and shut up.
He's not coming underneath here on me.
I don't think there's any
I'm
room under there
sorry.
with a dwarf.
He's only here as a favour to
Look.
his mother.
As you can see, we're already running a really sloppy show.
Operation.
You know, like, you wouldn't believe the amount of mess I had to go through we've had to go through to get this ragtag bunch of crew even here alive. Shocking. We're not going to make any money on this. They've already soiled half the garments, as you can see. Would you buy this shit? I wouldn't. Now, was it Black Boil? Crackjaw?
I'm Crackjaw. He's Black Boil.
As I was saying, you know, we're not going to make anything on this. And we just can't afford to pay that kind of money, you know. The profit margins on these aren't great. Maybe, 10 gold? Maybe we could go that far.
And it is only a little wagon.
It's only a small one.
I'm going to say that you can give me a con roll, a modifier of... so plus modifiers are worse, right?
Yeah.
So a modifier of plus... They generally go between 1 and 5. I'm going to give this a +4 because these trolls are A, dumb, too dumb to be conned, essentially, and also pretty predisposed to just want to take bribes.
4, well below.
Oh.
So +4 makes it 8, well
Which
below
is-
12.
Yeah, well, which is
What's your call?
what you need with
Yeah.
the minus modifier, yeah. Crackjaw looks at Black Boil. Black Boil shrugs and Crackjaw goes, "Oh, fine, but don't expect us to be this lenient to you the next time you come through. Get through there. And keep your dwarf under control."
Well, absolutely. I won't let him out. He's too ugly anyway.
You're a bastards.
I'm just lowering beer down to the bottom of the wagon.
Like in a pipe. Just piping it down. Like, you'll be quiet soon.
Okay. So,
So imagine we lose 10 gold, yeah?
Take
No, I
it
think
for
we went through for free.
No,
You got
paid
it for
for it.
free.
Oh, did we?
Oh, wow.
What? No, they wanted a bribe of 50 gold pieces,
Okay,
but you conned them into not doing it.
that's
I think
great.
that was the idea.
They're so dumb. It's fine.
Yeah. So you enter through the gate into Blacksand, most of which seems to be comprised of buildings falling into each other. It's got a very oddly slapdash feel, and a lot of the buildings look new but decrepit at the same time. So it's really quite odd. You find directions to the Dragon's Tooth Inn fairly swiftly, and manage to navigate yourself there. It's got a kind of central yard where a stable boy for a couple of gold coins takes your wagons and your horses and kind of shoves them into the stable, like, gives them a push. Goes and puts your stuff
Houses
away.
them.
Yes, and I assume you head into the Dragon's Tooth without. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong.
I headbutt Gordo's shin first as I emerge from outside the wagon.
It was the only way we were going to get in. It's true. So
I can think of plenty of other ways to get through those two bureaucrats.
Yes.
And there's
Not
nobody I
that
respect
drawing
more in this
attention
world
to
than
ourselves.
bureaucrats.
Well, that's what I expect out of you.
Well, I'll let it pass this time.
And you?
What? How many
What the hell was that? Well, how can you tell
How
these are
do you
fake
know?
passes? Like, it's like, how do you know we're lying?
I think Baradas believed them. Good lord, are these actually forgeries?
that was the.
I just can't even.
Send a letter to King Salomon at once. This is an outrage.
I can't believe it. I just can't. What are we? Let's go have a drink.
I think this wizard is very good at only one thing.
I'm walking into the
Lemonade.
pub. I'm walking into the pub.
Okay.
How does it still stink really bad?
Oh yes.
Does the pub stink even worse?
No, the pub stinks slightly better.
Okay, I'll go to the pub.
because it's got smoke and stuff inside.
I'll rush into the pub.
And sweat, which is far better than the stench outside.
Of dead flesh.
Go inside and go. Oh.
The Dragon's Tooth is one of the slightly less infamous taverns in Port Blacksand. It is not in the same league as the Black Lobster or the Hog and Frog. Even so, you find it filled with the usual rabble of overdressed scurvy knaves engaged in the traditional tavern pursuits of guzzling ale, gambling, boasting and arguing. Among the clientele you make out several half-orcs and a few orc goblins lurking in the shadows and trying not to be noticed. Some of the humans look even less pleasant. Every man jack of them is the sort of chap who'd pick his teeth with his cutlass, bite his own toenails and whip the cabin boy to within an inch of his life before breakfast. Looking around, no one seems to particularly leap out. There is the landlord, who seems a large, jolly chap, covered head to toe in exotic tattoos.
Now,
What was that?
Rangor, just, keep to yourself. We'll do the talking, and you can just order yourself a drink and just, clear it with Jarek if you've got something you want to say.
Anything you want to say. Anything at
Otherwise,
all.
we're more than happy if you just want to sit this one out and be quiet.
What's that over
By
there?
which I mean, don't say anything unless I let you.
Don't fucking levitate.
Don't get that fucking frog out, and no one wants to see that.
What's that over there behind the bar? Let me have a
That's
look.
drink.
That's the
alcohol.
landlord.
That's just like.
Oh, that's the landlord.
Should we get some drinks?
Hey.
Yeah,
What was the guy's name
might
again?
be a good idea.
Halin Thrumbar is your contact here.
No idea what he looks like, do we?
Nope.
Nope.
Cool.
We don't have a photo.
I clamber up onto the bar and kind of tug at the landlord's elbow.
What?
I like how you climb onto the bar and then tug at his elbow. Like you're like a pixie.
I spent a lot of time in the mines. It's stunted my growth quite a bit. Hello there.
The landlord turns around and says, dwarf, don't get too many dwarves round here. My name's Gregor, I'm the landlord of the Dragon's Tooth. What can I do for you?
You could get me a pint of your finest ale, please.
So our ale then.
Yeah, that'll do.
He slams a strange cat. He slams a.
That is not ale.
That's the name of the brand.
The strange
The
cat.
Strange Cat Ale.
From the Strange Cat
Brewery,
Brewery.
exactly. He slams a jug of ale onto the.
Nope. Jinx, nope.
It's fine. It's fine. He'll be all right.
Sniff the microphone.
Yeah, it's fine. They'll get a lovely noise. He slams a jug of ale onto the bar next to you, not in front of you. It does not look or smell good, but it is ale. There's no doubt in that.
Well, give it a good old down. Hey, that's pretty good. That is. Now, the business.
He looks distrusting of you.
You know a man by the name of Hal Thornbar?
Oh, I know. I know Helen.
Can you see him in this pub right now?
Yeah.
Could you point him out to me and my colleagues here?
You don't have any unpleasant intentions, do you?
Oh no, of course not.
Good. He's a friend of mine. That's Hallam over there. He points out a man over on the other side of the bar who he's dressed quite fancy for the place, quite brightly coloured tunic and general outfit with a quite a large kind of floppy hat leaning over on one side, quite bushy beard,
Big fan of floppy hat.
little bit overweight, who seems to be talking with a couple of pirates. Let's be honest. Port Blacksand is a pirate town.
It's brilliant. I hadn't noticed.
Oh my god, pirates!
Good
What
lord.
did I tell you about talking?
Sorry.
So yes, he points them out.
Oh, thanks very much, landlord. If you're good enough to keep this kind of thing quiet, you know. You said
Yeah.
you're friends with the man himself. We don't want too many people know that people are looking for him. You know what I mean?
No, that's fair, but you know, keep your business civil.
Oh, of course. I wouldn't have it any other way in an establishment of this caliber.
Mm. Again, he looks quite distrusting of you.
Can I?
But I run a shithole.
On purpose.
Can I like shovel over a few benches to like try and listen into the conversation that he's having on the other side of the bar with the pirate people.
Okay.
You try and listen in on
The bar, the tavern is far too raucous to really hear that kind of thing.
Okay.
And regardless, as Grimbold's conversations come to a close, and Grimbold kind of turns round off the bar
Leaps off the bar.
and turns round. Hallam Frumbar is stood in front of you.
Well, hello there.
He says, "I guess you fellows must be travelling merchants, for you look well enough, and I've not seen you around here before." And he has a cat in his mouth.
Strange cat again.
Oh,
That's good ale.
it's strange cats in my face.
I'm in the. Oh my god! I'm in the business myself. Perhaps we can be of use to each other.
What? We're not. Oh.
But we're adventurers.
I mean, no. Yes. What was the name? Thrumbar?
Yes, Hallam Thrumbar.
Good to meet you. I am Gordo Brondwin. And these are my associates. Not that one.
Whose name?
Like, it's just,
Oh.
he's, I don't know. But otherwise, yes.
He's here as a favour to his mother.
Excellent. Perhaps we could do some business
Some
over there
merchant business.
in the darkened corner, away from others. Yes.
Yes. That's where I like to do all my business.
That's why we do all our business. Upstanding merchants. Hey, wink, wink.
Yeah.
Would you like me to get a candle for the corner so it's not so dark? And we can see what we're doing?
He walks up to the corner and presumably you all follow him.
Yeah.
And
With
sit
my
down around the
candle.
table.
Nothing to see here, folks.
I'm following with it.
Everyone in this pub is doing shady
He's
business.
literally just
Everyone is
watching you. So,
So, we're here to find Nicodemus. That's right, isn't it? And we're hoping that you might help us out with that.
I'd received a message saying as much from our mutual patron.
Yes, I take it that he's not very popular in with some of the gentlemen in this town.
Absolutely not. Lord Azure would love to see Salamanus burned to the ground.
Yes.
Now that you're quite closer to him, you can see that although he appears to be a typically overweight merchant, there is a surprising amount of muscle beneath the fat. When he moves it, he seems to be tough and fit and imposing.
You're quite well built for a merchantman, you are. If you don't mind my saying so.
Well, quite short and ugly for one.
Well, my dear fellow, I'm not a merchant.
Right.
Wink, wink.
Neither are we.
Yeah.
How strong was that ale?
It wasn't strong enough to stop me from talking pish, obviously.
Well now, Nicodemus. The old fellow likes to keep himself to himself these days, I hear. Got fed up with people knocking on his door every 2 minutes to pay tuppence to have a wart removed, I expect. Leave here, go back into Market Square and leave by Bridge Street, the one that leads out of the northwest corner. That will take you to the Singing Bridge. You can't miss it, it's the one with the skulls. Nicodemus lives in a hut under the bridge, on this side of the river. I must warn you to take care to be on your best behaviour, though. He's a bit testy these days and doesn't take kindly to visitors dropping in on him unannounced.
Could you send a bell round so that he... Never mind.
Send a bell.
Like, you know, just like
Message.
give him a bell, you
A
know?
message.
Like, you know, give him a gift of a
of a bell.
That
which is
won't
which is
annoy
where the term comes
It does,
from.
and
Yeah.
Nicodemus
Yeah.
loves his bell.
I'll just give you a bell.
Can you not send him an
And-
MSN message or something?
That was great because that was futuristic and retro at the same time.
Yeah.
Can't you just talk to him on ICQ? Can't you just or aim him? Like
Drop
Have you
him
got
a
Hotmail
that's
account?
actually too old for all
AOL
of them to get.
message or something.
Mm.
Just send around this AOL CD.
See, I love that because what you've done there, John, is just said AOL message, thinking AOL is an old internet thing.
It's pretty old.
There's no such thing as an AOL message
Nah.
because AOL was a service provider.
Yeah, but didn't they have like a chat service thing?
I'm sure it must
Oh
have done.
god.
They may have
We
had a
can look-
proprietary.
let's go on Lycos and find out.
I think AIM may have been their proprietary one, but I don't think there was one called AOL.
I wouldn't know.
Older
Let's ask
I was
Jeeves.
not-
readers my age with better memories than me, let us know. Why did I call them readers?
I have no idea.
Let's just go on arse.com and find this out.
But such black
Ask
magics don't
Jeeves.
exist in this
Yes.
universe.
Either way, he cannot call Nicodemus, nor can he message him on AOL.
Right, so we'll just go on ourselves. This has been great. Have you got any other tips for us before we...
Anything we can do to not annoy Nicodemus so much?
Well, I don't know about that. He's a rather irascible old chap. But I'll tell you what, my advice, gentlemen, is to spend as little time here as possible. It's a foul place. Practically everyone you meet is out to cheat you somehow. Just do what you need to do, and then get out.
Okay, bye.
Is there anything we can do for you?
What are you doing, man? Is
No.
that what we need?
I'm being paid quite well by King Salman for my services here.
That's good.
Why is it? Go on. Why is it called the Singing Bridge? If it's got skulls on it.
Oh, you'll see.
Try.
It's a
Oh,
Georgie
that.
Muppets number.
Just a load of skulls with top hats and canes. So you're leaving the tavern?
So
Are
yeah,
you done?
we leave the tavern, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Unless
that's
anyone wants
square.
another drink.
Say your goodbyes to Hallam, unless you want to partake of any gambling or
No.
stay the night.
No.
It's quite late.
I grab him by the arm and drag him out.
I'm already out the
It's
tap.
quite late.
Regretting my decision because
It's quite late.
It is quite late.
Or do we want to drop by in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
Maybe we should stay.
Maybe you should stay the night.
But should we though? Because we're going to get stabbed.
The
Yeah,
longer
we
we
will-
stay in this city, the more.
He said get out of here quickly, didn't he?
I'm not gonna lie, I think if I
He
stay...
didn't mean the inn though. He
No,
did
but he
mean
meant
Blacksand.
Yeah, let's get this over and done with quickly.
But,
It's going to be
has
bad.
it just been nightfall, sort of like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's evening. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, if I stay here, I think I probably have minutes to live. Just from what's going on.
Right.
I think he's
That's,
right.
that settles it. We should stay. No?
I
Okay,
think we
fine.
should,
Fine.
Drop by
We'll leave the
Nicodemus.
tavern and head down towards the
With you leaving a long lingering glance at the gambling tables.
Mm.
and the girls.
And all those pantaloons. All those overdressed people.
Okay.
I think Gordo's actually maybe
Just think of all the pantaloons you could be stealing right now.
Indian oil about sexuality. Just couple.
What?
I think Gordo might be, you know. He's pushing pretty hard for these girls, you know. I don't know.
I'm confused, what's going on?
Justin's Justin's making up
Being
intentionally
dumb.
controversial stuff on purpose in
Okay.
order to troll other members of the group.
Absolutely everyone.
Okay. Let's have a. There's a little random encounter thing.
Ooh.
This is great. There we go.
Nothing happens.
As you're walking along a street on the way to the singing bridge, a pail full of unbelievably smelly, slimy stuff comes sloshing down from an open window, just as Jarek is walking underneath. The man at the window looks down, sniggers, then says, I did shout out, honest, before slamming the window shut again. Jarek is absolutely covered with it, and the smell is extremely nasty. People start giving Jarek odd looks, and small children are avoiding him in the street.
I laugh.
That's
I slap him.
I've already stepped back.
I say nothing.
Right. Well, I can't go talk to Nicodemus smelling of this shit.
Why
especially not if you keep mispronouncing his name.
Nicodemus.
Nicodemus?
Good old Nicky.
I think it's
I
fine.
know.
Don't you know any magic?
I don't know. This name I've only just heard. I don't know.
No, he's a Dickens
Are
fan.
you about to ask me?
Is he?
Do you know any cleaning
Yeah.
spells?
Cleaning
How do wizards do their
What sort of
laundry?
wizard do you think I am? Cleaning spell.
Can you not
Well, I'd
levitate
hope
the
you'd
dirt
be
away?
So
useful
you,
one.
yeah, you just have the unuseful things. Surely the first thing a wizard learns how to do is how to clean its laundry with magic.
Clean shit off
I
friends.
could firebolt it.
Yes, exactly.
It's flammable!
Well,
Le-
do we need to find a washerwoman?
I think levitate only works on me as well.
What?
You was asking if I could levitate
Wash
the
a man.
mud off you.
Probably not this time of night.
But there are still plenty of kids running around, apparently. Can we pay them 5 each to clean shite?
You're wearing your like merchant's outfit, right? You can change into your normal adventuring
You
clothes when we
can't.
get out the city.
I'm probably wearing, like,
Feces.
That too.
probably. Like, I'm probably wearing some amount of armour underneath anyway.
Underneath
Oh.
the merchant's clothes. So yeah, you could just shed the merchant's clothes.
But has it soaked through?
Oh yeah, but it's not quite as bad.
Oh, but then disguise.
Get the merchant's clothes off quick.
No, keep the disguise. You smell like piss, but everything smells like piss. No one's going to
I was
know.
going to say, by the
I
sounds of
smell
this
like
old guy,
concentration.
We'll just have you sitting outside. You're the muscle. Fine, it's great.
we're going to go meet an old guy who lives under a bridge.
You
He's not
can't
going to smell
smell
the best
anything
anyway.
anyway.
Maybe
Yeah.
there'll be a river under the bridge.
You can just dunk your face in.
I don't want to go. Any river that runs through Blacksand is not something I want to go into.
Jesus,
Near
you and your
Blacksand.
crazy idea of modern hygiene.
I
It'll never
presume,
catch
you're saying all this as you're still
Yeah, this is
walking.
us
Yeah,
all
yeah,
walking.
yeah.
Okay. Well, you reach the Singing Bridge. The Singing Bridge is one of the most stomach-turning sights in all of Port Blacksand, and that is saying something. Its rickety wooden timbers, withered with age and heavily patched, seem to be on the point of giving way to plunge the unwary traveller into the stinking waters of the Catfish River.
River.
From the water comes the putrid stench of the city's decomposing rubbish as it gurgles its slow way out into the bay, where diseased seagulls pick at choice morsels. Lining the walkway of the bridge stands an avenue of bleached skulls on long poles. Few of them are human, many more have hideous fangs and fierce horns, and most horrible of all, the wind passing through the crumbling structure and its macabre ornaments makes a ghastly, keening whistling noise that, were it not quickly drowned out by the bustle of the city as you leave the bridge, would surely drive all sane folk from Blacksand drive all sane folk from Blacksand within a day. I thought he was going to say drive them, but yeah. Anyway, at the nearest end of the bridge, a set of rickety wooden steps leads down to a small hut built into the very foundations under the bridge. As you climb down, you notice the words "Keep Out" scrawled in large red letters in several languages on the door.
No solicitors.
Yes.
No joke, man. Fuck.
You should see there's a river. You can clean yourself off. It's fine.
The disease.
If you stepped in that river, it would be several seconds before you started to sink.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
I storm up to the door and bang on the bar of it. Hello!
I'll just stay back for a safe distance.
There's no immediate response.
Hey, come out your old git, we know you're in there.
Shut up!
Could be a bit politer, perhaps.
After several seconds, you hear several muffled shouts of "All right, I'm
I
coming."
keep banging anyway. Come on, hurry up!
The door opens.
The
The door finally opens to reveal an old white-bearded man in full wizard's regalia, pointy hat and all, and behind him a surprisingly neat wizard's study. He takes one look at you all and says, "Who do you think you are, bothering a poor old man like this? As if I hadn't enough to do keeping this foul river from seeping up through my floorboards, without having visitors as well? Still, you don't smell quite as bad as the river water. Not all of you. So plainly you can't be locals. State your business and be quick about it. If you've no good reason for disturbing me, so help me, I'll turn the lot of you into sticklebacks and chuck you, lock, stock and barrel into the river. I've always wanted to know how long a living creature can survive in that filthy water. Well, speak up, and we'll end there." Will he turn you into sticklebacks?
Cliffhanger! I can't handle it!
It's going to turn into Nickelback. Oh no!
Oh God! But then he's going to drown Nickelback, so easy come, easy go. Yeah. There we go. That's
This
the
campaign ended with
Same
Nickelback drowned in
time.
a river of disgusting waste.
yes.
Tune in.
Tune in. Same Advanced Fighting Fantasy time. Same Advanced Fighting Fantasy place. Yeah. Thanks for listening/watching this first roleplay content on the channel in a while. Do let us know if you've enjoyed it. If you want to see more roleplay content on the channel. If you want to see us play different games, and we'll be back soon for the further adventures of Baradas. Jerick, yeah, I got it. Gordo and Grimbold, and not Aspen, and
Oh.
soon. Bye.
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 Bye.